But today I want to take you through the Cosori Air Fryer. Now this one I've had 6 months. It's my first air fryer, and I got it at the end of January, so it's 6 months old. And I just want to share really how good or bad I found it. There is a couple of bad points on it. I'll come to them. So overall, this is a 3.5 litre one, and the wattage is 1.5 kilowatts against an oven which is 2 kilowatts an hour. But also the added advantage, it cooks quicker than an oven, so you are going to save a bit of money. If you get the next size up, it's a little bit more. I think it's 1.75 kilowatts. Still less than an oven though. Yeah, so it cleans up pretty well. I mean, it just needs a wipe over now and then. It all works. There's nothing, I haven't had anything major go wrong with it. So just taking you around the back. This is the exhaust vent. This is where everything, all the hot air is blown out of here. So you don't want to put it up against the wall, especially if you've got a socket behind it or a cable behind it, because the chances are it will melt it. So leave it, I don't know, maybe 8 inches away from the wall, just so that exhaust isn't blowing directly on anything. So cleaning it, like I say, all you need is a quick wipe over with, I normally use one of those green sponges, some soap and water, and a wipe, these wipes. The wipes I use, I like them, if possible, to be have the alcohol in them, because it does cut through the grease. In an oven, basically what this is, it's an oven, a small oven. I'm not quite sure they call it an air fryer, maybe an air cooker, but it doesn't actually fry anything. It's just basically the same as a fan oven, and the workings are the same as a fan oven. So put the basket out. Cleaning it isn't too bad. Obviously you've got the base, which you can just wipe inside there with a surface wipe. And the good thing about the Cosori is because it's square, you can lay it on its side, both sides, get your hand in there to clean it with a wipe. And I haven't spent a lot of time cleaning this. I think this is only the second time that I've actually cleaned this. So it is fairly clean, but if you don't clean it, it's going to clog up. And all that cleans up pretty easy. But the difficult bit, and I'm afraid there is no easy solution for this. So in here, you've got the heating element, just like you would on a fan oven. Only difference is the fan oven, you can unscrew it, disconnect the leads and replace it. On this one you can't, because inside here, which you can't see, the connections are soldered. So you would have to take the top off, unsolder it, disconnect this, clean it up, put it back again and solder it back up. And if this breaks, I don't know how easy it is to get another one. Obviously Cosori haven't made it easy to change this at all. I think they're looking at you throwing it away and buying another one, which unless you've got some sort of technical knowledge, you're going to have to do. So anyway, above this heating element, 1.5 kilowatt on this one, is a fan. Obviously once this heats up, the fan blows the hot air around. The excess air is blown out the back, out that vent that I just pointed out. So cleaning it is the problem. Put it on its top, you can get in there and you can basically clean all around that. You can get in just around the edges of the heating element, and the heating element itself. You can wipe all that down, but you can't get behind the heating element where the fan is, so I'm afraid that isn't going to get cleaned. The other thing is, don't use water on this. A sponge with water, that water will go through there into the electrics, which is in the top, and that'll be either goodbye to the air fryer, or you'll end up getting a serious electric shock. So don't clean past this point here with any water, especially with a wet sponge. But like I say, it's white, it's fine, it's damp, and you can actually get round, more or less round the outside of the heating element. The element itself, I mean, I've cooked quite a few chickens in here, quite a few gammon joints, a lot of fatty food in there actually, and all that oil is to go somewhere, all that burnt offering has to go somewhere, and most of it will stick up to this top bit. But I'm afraid you're going to have to live with that, because there's no way, unless you want to take a chance and dismantle the whole lot. And I have tried this and I have dismantled it, but you're not going to change this unless you can get a spare one, and you'll need a soldering iron, and you need to know exactly what you're doing. But I'm quite happy with that. I mean, that is pretty clean. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that is pretty clean. You can see that heating element in there. It's not bad. It's not bad. I can live with that. You get all the worst of it off, it's done. So that's how you clean the inside, and that's where all the bits are. You know, you've got your heating element, your fan behind it. The fan blows over the heating element to cook the food, and all the exhaust gases come out of here. Keep it away from any surfaces. Nothing behind it if possible. I mean, I would say put it about 6 to 8 inches away from the wall, if not more. So all in all, after 6 months, I'm still happy with it, and I'm thinking maybe I might need to change it after a year, 18 months. Depends how much I want to put up with any dirt in there, really. I'm quite fastidious when it comes to cleaning stuff, so I like it all nice and clean, and that's about the best I'm going to get. But I'm happy with that. It's not that bad. I've seen a lot worse. Okay, so with this, that's basically the body unit. So I've had no trouble with the baskets like some. I mean, this is the outer basket, and as far as you can see, that is nothing at all wrong with that. I've just washed it, so it's a little bit wet inside. But yeah, that's fine. I mean, where the inner basket sits, it's worn. It's sort of worn it a little bit there, but I don't think it's really going to affect it at all. The inner basket. Okay, so this seems to be a really thin Teflon coating. It's not Tefal, that's for sure. As you can see, these bits here are worn, completely worn off the non-stick coating, but it is really thin coating, so I wouldn't expect anything else. I try to keep it fairly clean as I can. The food does tend to collect a bit in here, so I normally end up washing it every time now, but where it's baked on, I mean, you can see it in places, but it's still clean. I mean, it's not that bad. So yeah, I don't really have any problems with that. The handle's good. Handle's still good. It's not broken like some of the white ones. So the bad points, I think the bad points, and there's two bad points to this. One is, let me plug it in. One is, when setting the time, how often, or it might just be me, but how often do you set the time and then press that button, the middle one there's the start, and it turns it off, so you've got to do it all again. I don't know why they've got two separate buttons, one to turn it on and one to start it. That would have been a lot easier just to have that one button. Anyway, that's my gripe. Most people probably wouldn't even notice, but that's what I found with it. And then lastly, the negative point, I think, like my microwave, I can turn the cook timer sound off. But this thing, it bleeps 3 times, as you probably know if you've got one. And it is so loud, I can't believe that there's no way of turning that off, because I would be quite happy to turn that off and just use it on a timer when I wanted. Like my microwave, I could turn it on and off as I wish. So late at night, I can turn it off, cook something, it's not disturbing everyone. Whereas this, it's like probably one of the loudest things I've heard at night. So yeah, so if Cosori's watching this, I suggest, you know, maybe next time you sort that this button out, these 2 buttons here, sort out just a start and a stop, and also the beeping, because that's way too loud, and you should be able to turn it off. Will I buy it again? I definitely would buy it again, without a doubt. I would really like a bigger one, but I can't see that happening anytime soon. But I think when this one goes, I will buy another one, exactly the same, I think. It saves me a fair bit of money over the 6 months. If you know a little bit about, you know, kilowatts and electrical rating and usage, you'll realise that these are far more economical to use in an oven, especially now that the price is rocketing up. You know, you've got to think twice about using the oven or using this. I must admit, this is really too small for pizza. So if you want to do a pizza, I think it's going to go in the oven. I mean, it doesn't cook 100% of everything, but it cooks more or less 90% of everything, and that's good enough for me. If it saves me a few pennies at the end of the day, I'm happy with it. So overall, it's been a good buy, and I would definitely consider getting one if you haven't got one. Just make sure you get the right one. I think if I had a round one, I might struggle to clean it. Because this is square, you can lay it on all its sides. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and hopefully subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. So thank you very much, and goodbye.